Setting our boundaries with Geneviève Dupaul. Setting boundaries. Wow, what a foreign concept for many, many women. Until it's too late, women learn at some point in their life to set boundaries and affirm themselves. Taught to help others, put others first, be a provider, and put themselves last all the time, women often learn it the hard way to set their boundaries. Are you one of those people? Are you finding yourself drained by the everyday life and don't know how to get out of that vicious circle? If so, this episode is for you. Welcome aboard the podcast of Women Spark with Janik, a place to show women how powerful they are and remind them of the spark that they carry, the strength that gets us up every day, a place to feel seen and understood when we don't fully have what it takes to get back up on a hard day. This podcast is to help women heal and become the best version of themselves during the roller coaster of life. We want to build a community of women that wants to help one another and inspire each other to become stronger and more united as we were born to be. Today, we're going to touch on the subject of setting our boundaries. Did you know that many women struggle to set their boundaries because they are socialized to prioritize others' needs, fear of rejection or conflicts, and internalized guilt or low self-worth when they say no? From a young age, girls are often taught to be nice, accommodating, and conflict avoiding, which makes direct boundary setting feel rude or selfish. Patriarchal norms reward women for self-sacrifice and compliance and punish them, socially or economically, for being too assertive or difficult. Gendered communication norms encourage many women to use indirect language and prioritize harmony, which can make their boundaries less clear and easier for others to ignore. Many women believe other people's needs are more important than their own, so they override their limits and overextend themselves. Guilt and shame are common when women try to say no, especially if she's been praised her whole life for being helpful, flexible, or selfless, which creates a low self-esteem or weak sense of personal need. The chronic boundary violations are linked to stress, anxiety, burnout, and resentment, particularly in women balancing caregiving, work, and emotional labor. Today's guest had her own story with trying to be the right person for everyone else but herself. Until, well, she's coming on the podcast to share her story and inspire you all women out there to not reach for the same levels that she did. Geneviève Dupaul started the Rebirth House and a step-by-step 12-week process to help women reclaim their energy, rebuild their standards, and step into a life aligned with truth and confidence. When we come back, we're going to welcome Geneviève. Welcome back to a Women's Spark podcast with Janik. On the show today, we're going to welcome Geneviève Dupaul. For years, she's lived in survival mode, people-pleasing, ignoring her needs, and wearing a smile that hid the exhaustion. When everything fell apart, she realized she had never truly known herself. Geneviève Dupaul, founder of the Rebirth House, that was born from that journey, a space to heal, rebuild, and rise again. Every program, every tool, every conversation is designed to help women find their way back home to themselves. She lives by the words, "You're not broken, you're becoming." Please welcome our spark of the day, Geneviève. Hi, Geneviève.
Hi, Janik. This is so well said. Thank you so much. And yes, you have described in short words my journey, but yes, it resumed beautifully my journey.
Well, let's jump right into it. What is your journey and why is it today that you do set your boundaries? Because we're talking about setting boundaries. So tell us how you got there.
So basically, let's start with when I was younger, I didn't even know what boundaries was. So it gives you an idea on how it impacted my life. Let's say that boundaries are your gatekeeper, totally. So I found myself in a journey that I completely lost track of who I was. Over functioning for everyone, making sure that everyone emotion was managed. And by then I just completely fade away. That's how I can describe this moment.
Can you give us a bit more details? Because in the introduction, I mentioned some data about women, how hard it is for them to set boundaries. And even from the get-go, when we're very young, we're not taught to set boundaries. We're actually us as women, more taught to be the good girl, to be, self-sacrifice, compliance, and
Oh
that
yeah.
when we do set boundaries, we're too assertive and difficult. So what was that particular journey for you?
Well, you mentioned a word that I think is very important, self-sacrifice. So I was taught about putting the needs of everyone before myself. Self-sacrificing was the equal of love in a relationship and even with children. I mean, don't get me wrong here. Children needs love before even yourself sometimes. And that's the role of a parent. We were taught when we were young that it's just normal, that we don't need that and it doesn't even exist. So you found yourself in the 40s that you are even not aware that it has to be there. So I think, yeah, it's self-sacrifice was the key point of,
Who did you take care of when you were younger?
I mean, you mentioned also people pleasing. So I guess when I was young, I learned how to be quiet enough, be there enough, but not too much. Just be the person who is always accountable, be there for everyone. And I guess it started there. So I was taking care of my friends, family, but after a lot more when you become an adult. Yeah.
Absolutely, until it comes crashing down like a punch in the face.
Yes.
But we'll get back to that.
Mhm.
So who did you take care of? Were you the oldest?
No, I was
It,
the only child, so so you have to manage everything, and yeah, so I didn't have any siblings, but yeah, I think it's just people pleasing that gets me there first.
so when you got to this punch in the face,
Yep.
what was that punch in the face that made you realize that actually you weren't serving yourself, you were serving
Mhm.
everyone else? And that punch in the face made you realize that boundaries were not set. There weren't any limits. And so what was that punch in the face? What was that
For
ick
my
moment?
for myself, it was not quite a big haha moment like we described it, or like we hope to have. Um, I've been quietly lose sight of who I was for, let's say, 7-ish years, maybe more than that. But I think that I take a look at a picture of myself and I didn't recognize myself anymore. I gained weight. I was like, not myself,
Hmm.
not happy person that I am right now. And it made me realize that it was horrible. I'm sorry to say that, but that was horrible. That moment that I looked at me, I was like, okay, no, that's ugly. I cannot be that person anymore.
Mm. And it's a tough headspace to be in, or a state of mind, because it brings on a whole bucket load of other mental
Yeah.
space that
Yeah.
comes along with it. Did you have any other symptoms, your body telling you, in a
Well,
way, maybe your brain?
let's say that I was often going to the bathroom crying.
Ah, well, that's a good sign. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
not a good sign, but it is a
yeah,
sign.
something's wrong. But yeah, so getting out with a smile, being the strong one, trying to hold everything together. Um, I think a lot of women go through exhaustion and it's really common. I mean, you go through your day with a mental overload, trying to over functioning with everything, and I'm not the only one. I know that.
Oh, no,
So
definitely not.
that's why I started this, because it's so important, because I found myself drowning into that.
Mm.
That was the feeling that I was into. And I just decided that, okay, it's enough. I cannot be there anymore. And I wanted to help others getting out of this.
What's your current situation where you're a mother? Are you a single parent? Are you in a where are you at right now? Just
Okay.
to
So
give a picture.
yeah, so I'm a mother of a 10 years old boy. Um, and a wife.
Mhm.
So I have many roles. And yes, my son is autistic and have ADHD. So that's another mental load that I
Yep.
have to carry with me. So sometimes it can be very challenging.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my
So, wife, mother
Mhm.
with a child that requires
Special needs.
more attention from
Yeah.
his mother. Uh, there's your family, you're an only child, but still you have to take care of your parents, right? You still have to touch base with them once in a while, make sure that they're okay, making sure your
But that's a
son's
pleasure.
okay. Of course, of course. But this is the bubble that us women make, we're often put into. So we're the daughter, we're the sister, we're the cousin, we're the niece, we're the granddaughter, the mother, the wife, the friend,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
which
Many
one,
roles.
many, many roles. And with all of those, we are happy to fulfill them. We are happy to have all those relationships because they provide such a beautiful aspect in our life, right? Every relationship brings a color.
Well, don't get me wrong. There's it was not all a nightmare, but I mean, it's life. It's just normal. And it's always a pleasure to take care of the one you love.
Absolutely.
Always. But well, at least for myself, it's
Yeah.
always a pleasure. But where boundaries are very important is not everyone deserve that energy, or at the time they want it. So
Exactly.
that's the difference. So I think the boundaries of time, boundaries of energy, um, stop over functioning for everyone. I think that's the most crucial boundaries that needs to be in place before everything else.
The last drop that made the glass spill.
Yeah.
Um, what was it?
Oh, we went through multiple of hardship, I think. Multiple hardship that challenge ourselves deeply, profoundly. And I guess it was just in addition to everything, like you mentioned, a drop, another drop, another for too long. And
Mhm.
it's just a melting pot of situation that just made everything crack. And there's not a specific item, but yeah, I'm not going too deep in that moment, but we went through financial difficulties, being expat, because I'm from Canada originally, and we live in Florida, so we are expat. So it's hard to navigate through sometimes. But yeah, so we went through a lot.
Absolutely. What was your first steps to rekindling with Geneviève, the inner child that you have and the boundaries that you started setting?
First, self-regulating. I think that my system was everywhere, but anywhere at the same time. So I was nowhere to be found first. So I needed to put back my standard. I think that was my first step. putting non-negotiable in my journey. So, okay, I need to take care of myself first because I won't be able to take care of everyone else after. So that's mandatory. I need to take care of myself first. Putting my non-negotiable. Then after, I need to rebuild my boundaries, protect my time, protect my energy. And then after, we can help others.
What were those non-negotiables?
Funny, it could be drinking water. Because I got a big problem with drinking water. I prefer drinking coffee.
Okay.
Drinking water, moving my body was one of the first thing I had to do. So every day, at least 30 minutes. If you cannot train, go for a walk. It does miracle. So 30 minutes exercising every day, that's crucial. Eating healthy as well. So what I mean by eating healthy, you cannot have a clear mind if you drink alcohol, if you eat, junk food.
Yeah.
So pizza, greasy food, fried food, whatever. So you cannot have a clear mind. You will feel right after. So protecting your health is crucial too. So I think those three were my main focus at the beginning.
And then it became what? Because it's important. I like that you start with the water. It's obviously the basis of life. Eating healthy and moving our body. I think those are definitely the basis of life.
Yep.
And where did you go from there after that to start setting your boundaries?
Okay, so you cannot move forward if you don't take a step back and analyzing who you are at the moment, not who you were, but who you are now, where you start. So you can imagine your big picture in the future, where you want to be, whatever, but you need to figure out the bridge. So in order to figure out the bridge, you can do a reverse engineer. So I know I wanted to lose weight. I know I wanted to improve my finance. I know my goal what was, but I needed to build my bridge. So for example, if I need to lose weight, well, I need to exercise, eat well. So that was my first main goal, like I mentioned. And I think that taking a step back to analyze what I want, clear goal, and what I was doing wrong as well, because most of the thing that happened in my life was my fault, not everyone's fault. That was me, the only responsible. And I think that that is a thing that changed my identity. So taking responsibility for what I was doing wrong. So I think that's the main point. And sometimes we tend to forget that we are responsible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when we take back our lives like that and we understand that everything starts from us, all of our decision making, all that's happening around us, the energy that we attract and give out starts from us.
Yes.
So if we can start with that, then we can already change our mindset and change our life.
But because you are responsible, so you stop acting like a child and you take responsibility like an adult. And that changed a lot of things when you decided to, okay, that's my fault. Nobody else.
Setting our boundaries becomes a lot clearer, because if you have a choice between A and B, if the path A continues on the path of what we want, so taking care of our mind, body, and soul, it's a no-brainer. And if path B puts us a little bit off track, even the slightest bit, path A is definitely the way to go.
Yes, definitely. And I can say that not putting boundaries, because I'm going to push a little bit on that. By not setting boundaries enough, it creates a lot of resentment.
Mm.
A lot of negative energy, and you begin to be angry, passive aggressive towards your loved one, and you lose track of the most important things. So I think it's super important that we take accountability for
ourselves.
yeah.
Because also there's one last thing. I mean, when you don't set boundaries and you become, what's the word you just used? I loved it. It's you become resentful towards others, but also you get expectations. You start to have expectations from others, which
Oh, yeah.
we should never have.
Oh no! Oh, he should have done that. Why is not doing this? Why is it always like that? No.
I'm giving. Why am I not giving back? Whoa, here's a
Exactly.
clear
So,
boundary to make here. Stop giving away your energy. Keep it to yourself,
yeah.
and you won't
Also,
have expectations.
exactly, but also stop keeping for yourself.
Would you like
Most of the
to
time,
explore that avenue? I like it.
yeah. So most of the time, people are not, uh, they cannot understand what's in your mind. So if they have upset you and you're not telling them, how do you expect them to understand?
Mm.
So you keep that inside and it builds and it builds. And finally, you have a lot of anger towards someone that even doesn't know you did something wrong. So that's for myself. I know that's something that is just for me, but I had to work a lot for that because I was people pleasing and avoiding conflict. And when you are like that, you tend to say, oh no, everything is fine. Everything is
Yes,
all right. Sunshine and rainbows.
all the time. Yep.
So everything is fine. No. Okay. You hurt my feeling. Oh, okay. That's what happened. And then you can continue and break that pattern.
Absolutely. It becomes a bit of a vicious circle though, whereas, you keep it to yourself. Rainbows and sunshine, like you
Yep.
said. We don't
Exactly.
say anything. We keep it in. We hold a grudge. We have expectations. We become angry internally.
Yeah.
Here's something I found hard was to jump out of that wheel. How do you recommend someone actually, because from the time where you are in it, you realize you're doing it and you need to jump out of it. How do you jump out of it? And how do you deal with everyone else's new way of seeing you through this change?
Okay. So many things here. You have to recognize the pattern first, pattern recognition. So when you catch yourself doing that specific thing, say, okay, you can stop it. You can. So you just stop it. Say, okay, I'm sorry, but here's what happened. Here's how I'm feeling. That's your feeling. You're only responsible for your feeling. Then after, you have the other person. Okay, so you mention what you have to do, what you have to say, and then the other person have to react the way that he's reacting or her. So, I mean, it's not your responsibility. So that's something else about boundaries. People's emotion are their responsibility, not yours. You don't have to carry that mental load every time. It's not your responsibilities. Not at all.
At the end of the day, what you're going to gain from that is extreme internal peace.
Yeah.
An immense amount of peace.
Yeah. Or if you don't do that, mental exhaustion, resentment, anger, every negative emotion. You cannot feel well with yourself in your life if you keep those emotions inside. Never.
Is it true that you might lose some relationships along the way when you start setting boundaries?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or, I mean, because let's clarify that. Yes, for your question. And if people loves you, sometimes they don't even know they have passed your boundaries because you don't put them. So it's like running through a wall that has a door. So no door, you can go through. But when you put the door, so okay, now you cannot go further. That's where you stop. Well, if the person doesn't respect that, well, it's maybe a good idea that you don't have that person in your life. But if that person respect that, well, it's normal to have healthy boundaries. It's just normal. If you don't have, that's not normal.
If the person is meant to stay and you communicate your boundaries, the person is going to stay.
Yeah.
But if the person is not meant to stay and you communicate your boundaries, then we'll slowly drift away.
That's another subject, but we got narcissistic people that think they
deserve. That's definitely a whole different subject. So back to you, Geneviève. What for the listeners, for the women listeners who are stuck in that wheel? What positive came out of you setting your boundaries?
Well, first, not crying in the bathroom anymore. So that
it's a plus.
I'm not saying I'm not crying anymore, but I think having healthy emotion is one of the most important things. When you manage that, that's a big thing. And I need to mention that the most impactful quote I heard was, choose your pain.
Ooh.
Why is that? Because everything you are going to do or to choose will have pain. So either you choose to stay in where you are in that painful situation, or you choose the pain of overcoming this. Everything you will have to do, you will endure pain. You want to get in shape? It will be hard. If you stay fat, it's going to be hard too, because you're not going to feel well with your body and etc. So I think that quote changed my perception of life.
Absolutely, in every aspect of it, right?
So choose your heart, choose your pain, just decide. And changing is hard. Okay, changing is hard. It's not easy. You will fall, you will come back to your old pattern, and it's normal. But that's a process. And I think the most beautiful outcome that I have experienced through my journey is that I can now see that part. I can now see clearly the road that I'm going to go. I'm not who I was before that event. I'm something better. I've reconstructed myself. I'm a rebirth from that moment.
A lot of women want to be the best version of themselves, and we hear that a lot, right? There's a lot of women trying to help other women become the best version of themselves. But yeah, I like what you're saying, because every hardship, every pain you're going to go through is going to get you to be the best version of yourself in that moment.
And I'm truly thankful for what happened to me, even though it was super hard, because it brought me where I am today and the person I am today. I'm totally not the same person if you had talked to me 20 years ago. And
that's the beauty, because you know what? I just saw a rainbow, not in front of me, but in my head. You were talking about a rainbow earlier. That's how you know you've crossed the rainbow, is when you don't have resentment anymore and you can see the event, the hardship, as something good that happened to you.
Yeah, definitely. And also, it's always a choice, right? I always tell this to my son. So you have two choices. You keep it the way it is, and you choose the hard way, or you decide to go on the other side. So do what's need to be done. I mean, you cannot stay there. It's not healthy. You cannot stay there. I mean, I know it's hard to hear, because a lot of women will probably hear this and they will make, oh yeah, it's easy to say. Yes, it's easy for me because I was there. I'm not anymore.
Mm.
But
Thank you for sharing that, Genevieve. I like it very
it
much.
it's needed. You
Absolutely.
cannot stay there. You have to just move forward one day at a time. It's not an easy journey, but it's necessary, mandatory.
No human life is easy, but it's a
No,
choice. It's whatever choice you decide to take. Is it going to be hard now and better later? Or is it going to be easy now and harder later? So which
choose the
one do you
thing.
want to deal with? And that's your decision. It comes
Yeah,
back
choose the
to
thing.
us making our own decisions.
Yep, definitely.
You've started the Rebirth
Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners how you want to make a mark in this lifetime.
So my goal is to impact the most women as possible, help them to overcome what I've overcome and even more. So I think every woman needs or deserve to be empowered and to take back what's, I know it's cliche, but the queen in her.
Mm. Yep,
So
absolutely.
we are meant to lead, and I think we are meant for more, and every woman have a voice that needs to be heard. And if I can make a change in only one woman's life, that my goal will be achieved. I
You
mean,
will have made your mark in this lifetime.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Where can we find the Rebirth House, Genevieve?
So online, the rebirthhouse.com. And of course, I have social media, so on Instagram as well.
For the listeners, I'm going to link them into the summary below, so you can go and click on those links. There's Instagram at Geneviève_Dupaul, and the website, as she mentioned, the Rebirth House
Yes.
on her website.
And for the listeners, for those who are going to go on the website, I give free boundaries PDF that can help starting the journey and try to understand where they are. And I'm always available. So if anyone have question, I'm always there to help. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Geneviève, for all this knowledge and experience. It's so valuable for all the women listening. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, Janik. It was a pleasure.
To all you women struggling with putting yourself first, or simply just drained from their daily life without even knowing why, put yourself first for once. Just once a day to start. You'll slowly regain your energy and the strength to do it more and more. You'll find your peace and you'll want to do it more in order to reclaim your true self.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your journey again, Geneviève, and helping other women find their way. It is a blessing to have met you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
This is it for us for today. Tune in every week on your favorite podcast platform. If you want to get involved with the Be Guided, Be Inspired community, or you want to share what kind of impact you've had on your life, or you want to help other women, just connect with us at www.beguidedbeinspired.com. Write us and we'll connect together. Let's change the world of women, one conversation at a time. See you next time. Bye.